So we're gonna get right into it. A lot like you guys, I'm behind the chair every single day in my salon. So we're opening back up. The country is breathing again, and everybody is trying to stampede into our salons. Wouldn't you guys agree? So for me, I've been trying to find new, beautiful ways to accommodate everyone in a really tight space, right? So we're trying to get a lot of people in, but we don't want to waste a lot of time. And sometimes those 5 and 6 hour color transformations aren't realistic in the beginning. And a lot of you guys, probably like myself, have clients who have gotten kind of used to their natural hair. And that was the case for my beautiful model right here. We talked about what we wanted to do for her hair, and she wanted to incorporate some lightness but keep it really natural and beautiful, something that complemented her skin tone, so we decided on this honey color. So this entire technique for a full head should take you guys 1 hour. That's the kind of idea behind Balayage Power Hour. And what we're using today is our Chi Bleach and Shine. Guys, if you have not seen or heard of our brand new addition to our lightning line, the Chi Bleach and Shine is a great. So 9 levels of lift, just some back history about it. Hemp and aloe. So the hemp is going to give you those 9 levels of lift while making sure that the hair stays strong. And then of course the aloe is going to be great for people who have like sensitive scalp or are new to lightening systems. So once you picked your lightener, which is what we did, along with the line is the Bond and Seal. So I love the Bond and Seal. It's kind of my prep. And this is what I mist in the hair prior to any lightening service. And it really just like sets the tone. It equalizes the porosity and stuff like that. So it's always my first step in the lightening process. So if I'm behind the chair in my salon, the first thing I do is a consultation. Hey babe, this is what we're doing. She decided she wanted honey. My next step is going to be to mist with the Chi Bond and Seal. Turn that way just a little bit for me. Well, let me prime it up a little bit. There you go. So we're just gonna mist it, making sure that I get all of those pieces. So whenever it comes to sectioning, this can just like set and dry in there while we section and then formulate. So for this kind of balayage power hour, what I personally like to do is figure out which way my guest parts their hair. So she says predominantly she parts on this side because she has like a natural cowlick that goes that way, but sometimes she parts down the middle as well. So I consider that like a little off middle part. So your first section is going to be to find, turn this way a little bit, right there, is to find where the apex of the head is. So where your finger kind of comes off of the head, hers is going to be about right there. I'm going to come down just a little bit in front of her part. And as you can see, this is a part that we've already done. And then over here, same thing, come back a little bit like that to create a little triangle like this. So we're gonna have this section. This is actually gonna be the only portion of the hair that's going to have any foil in it, which again, we did already do, but I'm gonna walk you through how we did that, just, you know, for time. And then I'm gonna part this out of the way. So put a clip right there. Guys, you have got to chime in and let me know where all of you are tuning in from. Let me know if you have already used our Chi Bleach and Shine, where you're from. Are your salons open? Are you noticing the trends coming to where people are starting to embrace warmth? Like, is this something that you're seeing? Because we're definitely seeing it in Texas. My beautiful friend Satara, who's actually behind the camera right now, her hair is a stunning honey color also. And actually, whenever I was thinking about what I foreseen as something that I think is going to be next in the beauty industry, I really feel like we're going to start to embrace the warmth. And the reason why is because this is great for all hair types and textures. Our Chi Bleach and Shine is fantastic for bone straight hair all the way up to our curly girls, and keeping a lot of that warmth in the hair kind of maintains the integrity of texture. So I think that that is so, so huge whenever you're trying to create for your guest. Okay, so before I get into the next portion. Do we have any questions? Do we have any people shouting out?
Yes, we have a question.
Okay.
Desiree asks, is the bonding seal a replacement for keratin mist?
That is a fantastic question. So our Chi Keratin Mist is amazing also. It's one of my favorites. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a replacement, but it does give you an alternative. So the added benefits of the Chi Bond Seal is that it does have the aloe and hemp. So you're going to have those fatty acids. It's really rich in vitamins and nutrients and stuff like that, while still maintaining the, I guess, benefit of being a porosity equalizer. And also this one in particular was created to work in synergy with this lightener. So both still amazing. I definitely still love to use my Chi Keratin Mist, but when it comes to this system, it works so beautifully together that I like to use them in synergy with each other. Thank you so much for that question, Desiree, and thank you for joining our live. Do we have any other ones? Nope. Okay. So we have this side sectioned off, and then what I do is just part the back straight down the middle and split the hair. So whenever I'm freehand painting, obviously this is all in foil. So whenever you have lightener encapsulated in foil, you're going to get a little bit more lift because you're not like open air balayage. But whenever I'm working on the sides, my main key points that I always want to do is make sure that I'm taking diagonal back subsections. And the reason for that is it really helps to keep that depth intact. So whenever you think about like a balayage, you want to make sure, for me, for this type of power painting situation, or like an express balayage, that depth is really what makes that lightness jump out at you. So diagonal back sections, and this is how we're going to get into it. But before we get to that, her hair is misted with the Chi Bond and Seal. It's had time to set in, and now we're going to go over to the mixing. So this is our Chi Bleach and Shine. You see that beautiful blue hue? That is our blue and violet aquamarine. So what that helps to do is cancel out a lot of that warmth or unwanted super brassy tones, right? This is 30 volume Chi Color Generator. I had it pre-measured, and I'm just going to mix this up really quickly. Look at that. So good. I love the smell. I may actually put a little bit more. We can just keep mixing. Mix, 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 and you see that consistency come to life. It is so good. I love the way it smells. You smell it? It smells good, right? Over here like, smell it. Do you want to smell it? Too bad there's not smell-o-vision, because you guys would love the fragrance. So just fully incorporating all of this together. Another one of my pro tips is, if you didn't want to use any foil at all, something that I do in the salon to help manipulate that dimension with this lightener is I'll have one bowl, like this is our 30 volume, so I'll have one bowl with 30 volume, and then I'll have another bowl with 10 volume. So just by utilizing your lightener, you're able to attract those different tones and pull that color from the hair in a really meaningful way. So another of the benefits to this balayage power hour is there's no color melt. So how we're placing it in the hair super intentionally, how we're manipulating our Chi Bleach and Shine to work for us. Once we get to the bowl, we're cutting out that 30-minute color melt because what we're going to do is just tone for the darkest level in the hair and then create these beautiful warm tones. So before I get into it, do we have any questions? Because I don't want to lose you guys. I know this is a lot of information, but we're excited to share. So do we have anything before we jump into the application? Not yet? Not yet. Okay, perfect. So diagonal back. Why diagonal back? Because it's going to, again, create that lightness up in the front, and we're going to slowly cascade down. Surface painting, so that means it's only going to be painting on the top, and then we're going to saturate the ends, okay? So I'm going to grab my Chi Bleach and Shine, and I'm going to go in here. I'm going to try to get it at an angle where you guys can really see. I'm holding a lot of tension. You see how taut I'm holding it right there? So I'm going in and painting in these beautiful V-shaped patterns. Bringing it all the way down, still surface painting at this point, and then I'm going to switch to the underneath about midway and grab it, really allow all of that hair to be saturated all the way down. And you'll notice I also left out her hairline. I feel like it is so important to make sure, even if we're going to be pulling all of this forward, to make sure that we take care to touch the baby hairs right around the nape, so that whenever she picks her hair up, she has some lightness back here as well. Okay? All right, so grabbing here, bringing in, painting, 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 just like that. Beautifully.
Amber, you do have another question.
Okay.
So Paulina asked, is that more blue than normal? I think she means the bleach.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, there's now blue and violet in there with our new technology in the lightener. And that's going to just make sure that whenever you're lifting, it's minimizing a lot of that warmth that's going to be exposed on the way. Okay. Do we have more questions?
Yes, one
Okay.
more. Michelle is asking, is there any tips you can share for the balayage beginner?
Absolutely. So for the balayage beginner, one of my favorite tips and techniques, and it's something that I did a lot and I still will do. So for our beautiful model here, her hair's not super thick, right? She has kind of like a finer texture. And my biggest, I guess, the biggest problem with balayaging is like hot spots in the hair. So the best way that you can avoid that for me is to tease the hair prior to going in with your Chi Bleach and Shine to lighten. And that really helps to diffuse that line at the beginning. And also surface painting, how I'm showing you here, is really important for a beginner, because on the back end, if you're pushing too much pressure and you're having some of that lightener seep through the hair to the opposite side, you may have some hot spots on the other side, which is something that for me, and I think most of us, we want to avoid whenever we are freehand painting with balayage. But most importantly, I want you guys to get out there and just do it. Mess up. It's okay. There's nothing that you really honestly can't fix at the bowl. So just start, just try it. If you do this technique and maybe your pressure is a little too hard and you do have some hot spots, don't freak out. Whenever you're at the bowl, just address it then. There's so much that you can do with color melting and utilizing like our Chi cream color or our Chi shine shades to go in there and do some spot correcting if you do have hot spots or bleeding. So more than anything, guys, just get out there and create. Like, do not be afraid to just do it. Does that answer your question?
What, you have another one.
Uh-huh.
So what ratio are you using bleach to activator?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mixed this 2 equal parts, but you can, because I wanted it to be a little on the thicker side, but you could definitely go in and do 1 part lightener to 2 part color generator if you just wanted to get a little bit more maximum level of lift. And that's actually how you would activate the 9 levels of lift with our Chi Bleach and Shine, would be 1 part powder to 2 parts 40 volume color generator, and that's how you're really going to be able to achieve 9 levels of lift, especially on darker, naturally darker shades. So I'm still going in just free hand painting. So the first one I went in high V. This one I left the depth here and I'm going in throughout the middle. So I'm really just alternating my freehand experience to create the look that I want. The main thing is I'm going in and making sure I fully saturate the ends so that I have a lot of lightness down throughout there. So for the most part, all of this is going to be pulled forward. And so as the hair falls naturally, the back is going to have a lot more depth and in between these V's. So that creates just a stunning mixture of definition and all of that beauty. Are you feeling okay, girlfriend? Okay.
You have another question.
Yes.
So Deanne asks, are you going to stick with one technique or use multiple?
That is a fantastic question. So me personally, and this is real life situations. For this is an express balayage, right? So this is something that you want to be able to get in and out in 1 hour. So for the most part, I'm going to do mostly freehand painting on this guest for this time frame and for what she was looking to achieve. Now, who is this for is going to depend on your guest. If you have somebody that comes in and they want a little bit more lightness and depth around the face, I would probably go in and do some teasy lights right here on the sides as well. For this one in particular, it's all freehand painting. The only portion that was in foil was the very top, and that was just to create a little bit more diffusion and stuff like that, and add her that little money piece in. But it's really up to you and your guest, honestly, and what they're looking to achieve. But absolutely, in my day-to-day, I probably use 2, 3, sometimes even 4 different techniques on one guest.
You have another.
Yep.
Questions are rolling.
Yes, let's go.
So
I love to see it.
Cindy asks, do you use different ratio for foils and balayage?
That's a fantastic question also. Sometimes yes. For this in particular, the exact same formula that I'm using in ratio for her freehand painting, I did the exact same one in my foil. But you could definitely, especially if you, one of my favorite things to do, guys, is to manipulate the level of color generator. So what I would do is, say for instance, if I started with the hairline and with the foil first, I may opt for a 10 or 20 volume in the foil because I know that's going to live on the head the longest in terms of application timing, and then go in with something more aggressive like a 30 or 40 volume on the freehand painting. But the beauty of this lightener in general, and y'all see how tight I'm holding that? Like there's like tension there. But the beauty of this lightener is it does have all of these benefits and those bonding agents in there. So no matter what volume I'm using, I know that it's going to keep the integrity of the hair intact, which I think is huge. And even the consistency, right? So a lot of times people want like a clay lightener. Do you see the consistency of this? Just by doing equal parts, you really have that clay feel. And the outside will definitely dry a little bit and encapsulate that interior moistness, if you will, to allow it to continue to process. And if at any time you want to slow the process down, so let's say for instance you're a slow painter, and that's fine. You start this side, you get to this side, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is already a level 9. What do I do? Do I rinse her? No. You're going to grab your Chi Bond and Seal. You're going to spray that hair, kind of like work some of that excess product off of the hair. It's going to continue to lighten, but less aggressively. So that gives you a little bit of leeway to allow you to finish the other side before you have to go in and try to figure out what you're going to do on this side. Does that answer your question? Anything else? I'm loving the question, guys. Shout us out. Tell us where you're from. We love to see it. Make sure you follow Cosmoprof on Facebook and on Instagram. Follow me at Duchess of the Dolls. Make sure you're following Chi Hair Care, Farouk Systems, and BioSilk so that you're always notified whenever we have these lives. Guys, we know hair shows are coming back, we promise. But in the meantime, you can come sit with us from the comfort of your home, get some education, find out what's hot and trending, and really soak it all in so you can take it back to your salon behind your chair in an actionable way. Okay, so just going in, just painting, we're vibing here, using our Chi Bleach and Shine. We're freehand painting on my beautiful model, creating this honey color. So I know I've been rambling, but so far we've only taken 3 sections besides our hairline. So this is the 4th. Each time you're noticing that I'm pulling it forward, I'm painting, surface painting right on the top of her hair, and then not really beginning to saturate until we get to the mids, full saturation on the ends, and just painting our little hearts out. This entire process should take you about 1 hour. Obviously it's going to take us a little bit longer because we're talking and stuff like that, because you know we're having fun. But yeah, the CBD and hemp oil in this stuff is really revolutionary. You'll notice that it has a thick, kind of almost clay-like texture, and really helps to go on. It stays exactly where I put it. I'm going to create those kind of peaks in the hair to give her lightness. all the way up. Still really like maximum tension at the bottom. That's where my control comes from, right? And there's a way to paint really clean. I'm not super messy. Watch me say that and get lightener all over myself. Last time I had lightener all over my dress, but it was fine. Shout out to Shein. They really did it for your girl. These dresses, for whatever reason, don't stain. So yeah, still creating those little peaks of lightness all up and through there.
We have some more questions.
Yes, what's up?
Okay, so Will asks, so you are going to let it air process, no foil?
Yes, absolutely. This is going to be open air balayage on the ends. Again, this is what was right for us and in her situation because she didn't want to be super platinum. And this type of technique may not be the best for people who want to be super platinum. These are more for women who are wanting to kind of embrace the warmth, but definitely want to kind of, you know, tiptoe, if you will, into the world of lighter hair. That's why I was saying this is a great technique, especially for curly girls. As we know, sometimes lightener can kind of relax your texture. So something like this that's a little less aggressive will definitely help to, you know, keep the curls intact. But yes, for this one in particular, she will process open air. If I were doing the whole head process, you would have seen that the top was in foil, and that was more of like a teasy light or something along those lines, or just like a couple little baby lights and stuff right up there. Thank you so much for your question.
Paulina has a question.
Okay.
So what was the volume developer?
Great question. So we used our cheap Bleach and Shine, which is our lightener. It has hemp and aloe, and I used it with 30 volume color generator. Don't mind the stuff falling. Okay, it's fine. You know it's Hollywood, guys. This is real life. We're just here bringing you the freshest knowledge and doing the best we can. But anyways, 30 volume. Thank you so much for that. Now, it is a 9+ level lightning system. So if you wanted to get that up to 9 levels of lift, or if your guest required more lifting, you could do, because I'm using equal parts. So 1 part Chi Lightener, 1 part color generator. If you wanted to get maximum lift, you could do 2 parts color generator to 1 part powder. And that's going to give you a more aggressive lift while maintaining integrity. Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay.
So someone asked, would you still use those higher volumes if you are a little slower?
That is fantastic. You know what, guys? I just really want to take a moment to appreciate all of you who are here with us and ask all of these questions because that's what we're here for. Yes, absolutely. If you don't paint as fast, you 100% could take and utilize a lower volume that's going to give you a little bit more time. And also, if you're painting slower, it would be good to not necessarily start with the perimeter because that process is faster. So you may start in the back and then work forward. And honestly, just like I said, just start. You can already see it's lightning. It looks so pretty. But yes, absolutely.
We have another one.
Yep.
Jada asked, with this lightener, what makes it able to be super hydrating while still delivering a high lift?
That is a fantastic question, and that is the CBD oil, hemp oil that's in it, which is really like rich in fatty acids and nutrients and vitamins and stuff. So it strengthens the hair from the inside out. And then the aloe in it protects the scalp for, say, like on scalp applications so that you can continue to lift to those higher levels in a way that protects your client and makes it a comfortable experience. For me personally, believe it or not, I am super allergic to like lightener on my scalp. And I always need something with aloe in it to just kind of nourish my scalp in the process so that I'm able to get those super light levels. So the aloe does that for me, and then the hemp and, you know, all that fun stuff in there protects the hair.
Katrina is asking, can you show us the bottom blending of your sections?
Yeah.
You're painting the top, but I find the bottoms aren't blended well when I do it.
Exactly. Okay, I love this question. Guys, I'm not painting on the underneath. That's why you don't see it, because I'm not painting on the underneath until I get to the mids. Why that is important is exactly what you're talking about. It's all about pressure in the actual brush. Let me pull my dress up. It's not that kind of show. So whenever you're painting, I love to only surface paint right here. So from root to mids, I'm only going to be painting right on the top. That's why I'm holding my tension so tight, and I'm just gently laying it on the top. So you shouldn't see anything on the middle other than right there. We'll just take that off. And so that way you're not having those warm spots throughout. And then by the time you get to here, where you're going to start painting on the bottom, so I'll put a little line so you can see, all of that should live together down here together. So yes, I would say apply a little less pressure and just paint right on top so that it's not seeping through that other side. And here's another key point, pro tip. If you have problems with laying it on top of each other and it's bleeding, like each sections are bleeding onto each other, you could grab cotton and lay it in right here. Cotton I use a lot in the salon. Obviously this is more for like visual purposes and things like that so you guys can see, but in my salon I would use cotton and it would lay right there to just lift. Or you can use like a cellophane or a clear, or you can even pop a foil in there if you wanted to, just to help kind of like incubate each section so that they don't lay on top of each other. But yeah, cotton is great for that. But for this, you're only surface painting and not painting on the underneath. I hope that answered your question.
So, Kim is asking if you wanted to go lighter, couldn't you just use a similar technique but pop on the foils?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. So, and again, this is whenever it comes to your consultation with your guest. So whenever she came in, she was like, she's a model, obviously. Duh, look at that face. So she was like, well, how light am I going to be? I said, well, honestly, what we're doing today is just all about the technique, about how to paint hair in 1 hour, utilizing our cheap bleach and shine. The actual color is up to you guys. So in your guest. So if she wanted to go lighter, this may not have been the technique I would have used for her. I probably would have went in and did some teasy lights and things like that to really maximize lift, or I would have opted for smaller sections and really going in there and taking care. But when you're talking about something like that on somebody whose hair is on the darker scale, you're getting into like a longer service application time. So when I thought about Balayage Power Hour, I actually had the busy stylist in mind. The stylist who wants something that they can bring into their salon and use to get people beautiful looks, but not necessarily those 5 and 6 hour total transformations. So, but yeah, there's tons of techniques we could have used.
Another question.
Uh-huh.
So people are asking, will we be seeing the after?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to post the after on my stories at Duchess of the Dolls. They will also, well, I'll restory it. Farouk Systems is going to post the after, and then we'll share it. Cosmoprof will have it as well. And yes, absolutely.
Another one.
Yep.
So Desiree asks, if a client
See the under?
Gets irritated easily with lightener, wouldn't you consider using the Chi aloe vera line to soothe the scalp?
100%, yes. That is one of my favorite benefits, and it's a feature of this lightening system. The aloe vera is amazing for sensitive scalp. And just in general, this is what I tell everybody, aloe vera is therapeutic to me, right? So when I think of aloe vera, I think of, oh my gosh, I've had a sunburn and, I'm not really feeling that well. If I have a stomach ache, I'll literally eat aloe vera, like, I'm in Texas, this is what we do. But yeah, I just think of it like that. So whenever I have a guest who has sensitivity to lightener and stuff, and they need something that's really soothing, that's what aloe gives whenever I think about it. So it's always my first option whenever, I know that my guest is sensitive. And another really cool thing, guys, and this is just, I'm going to brag on Chi for a little bit. We actually grow our own aloe vera. So we're based in Houston, Texas. Hi, shout out to my Texas people. We are streaming live in Texas. But Farouk has a literal aloe vera farms. And I think that is one of my favorite things about the company as a whole. I'm just going to, again, humble brag. We're so focused right now on the give back to the world. Even like our Chi Bond and Seal, like it's 98% natural, guys. Like That is huge. And the percentage of natural is on almost all of our products now. So for those of you who are a little more conscious as to what's going on in our world, you're going to know that we are very dedicated to our footprint in society. And also the bottle itself, like the container of the Chi Bond and Seal, is recyclable. So you're not using something that's going to end up in a landfill somewheres. Like, we're really taking care to love our planet, and that's huge to me. So I know I got off on a spin, but you asked about the aloe, so I just had to let you guys know. If you're in Texas, that's something to be proud of, to say, I'm using a product that we grow here in Texas and cares about the environment. So that's that. Do you have any other questions about the application? No? How are we doing on time? Do I have some time to show them our Chi Vibes? I think I do. Okay. I'm going to take, look, gloves are off. So I had the pleasure of testing out this tool. I'm going to let it heat up. I'm going to bring this around. Testing out this tool, which is the Chi Vibes. I'm going to do it on this side over here. And when was it? It launched in March. On off. So first of all, do we see this? If you know me, like day to day, I'm typically in pink. So this was totally my aesthetic. Farouk is just so innovative, right? Like, look at this barrel on this thing. So stunning. Closes just like that. Rose gold ceramic plates. Like, they did not skimp on the details of this. The on off buttons are in here. So we're going to push on. Couple different preset heat settings. I'm going to use it on the fourth one. And it has this really cool lock feature that I love for travel because it makes it super compact and travels so easily. But anyways, so back to the tool. Love it. One of my favorite kind of protective styles is to braid my hair and then take the braid out. So this gives me that look in a heat tool. Hold this for me real fast, if you don't mind. So I'm going to part her hair out. And this is part of an entire line also. The Chi Vibes is probably my favorite new line that's part of the Farouk Systems family because it comes with like a hairspray, it has a heat protectant, it has a dry shampoo. Probably my favorite dry shampoo. But anyways, this is the waver. I'm going to make sure that we got it. So you're going to go in, press, 1, 2, 3, press, 1, 2, 3, press. Oh wait, I guess I didn't let it heat up. I was too excited. That's what it was. Do you have any other questions about the lightener side?
Not yet.
Okay. So going in, and you'll see as we go, it's going to create even more of a curl, like a wave, and it's so stunning. I used this on a couple of like my TikTok reels and got so much feedback. Hold that again. From everyone who was like, oh my gosh, what is that? Where do I get it from? It is available now. What is it? Chi.com? Yep, Chi.com. And at Cosmoprof. Oh my gosh, shout out to Cosmoprof again. They're so sweet and amazing. I look to Cosmoprof's page so often to figure out like what's going on in the industry, making sure that I'm staying up to date with all of the sales and stuff that I can get in their stores, and the education. Oh my gosh, I've learned so much. I really use Cosmoprof's Facebook and Instagram page as a resource for education and retail and everything in between. How's that looking on camera? Really good, right? So good. I actually thought about doing this to my hair today, but I opted for my Chi Lava 2.0, which is another great in our line. Okay. Moving through the hair. And y'all get to see some of that finished honey color come to life. So how much is our Chi Vibes retailing for right now at Cosmoprof? Do we know so we can give them an idea?
Yes, we will drop it in the comments.
Oh, yay. Are you guys reading the comments? There's probably so much wealth of knowledge and information in those comments. And as soon as we get done with this and we obviously post the after picture and stuff, I will go back and respond to you all as well. So don't worry if we don't get to your comment right away. We will get back to you. I'll go respond personally, I promise. That's like my thing. I love to go and talk to all of you guys in the comments. All right. So good. Do you see that? Do you see the ombre on this thing? So beautiful. I love it.
Amber,
Yes.
Someone is asking what's going on the bleach side.
Yeah, so we're processing. Thank you so much for your question. We finished applying our Chi Bleach and Shine to her side. We're doing open air balayage. So we went in, took diagonal back sections. We're utilizing our Chi Bleach and Shine with 30 volume color generator. And we went in and just painted. For the most part, your paint application should take about an hour for full head. You're using our Chi Bleach and Shine, so all of those added benefits are in there, helping you lift. And it should really maximize your time behind the chair. So we wanted to bring our Chi Vibes hot tool to you guys and show you how it works. So while we're processing it on the other side, we decided to bring this baby out and show you one of our newest in our line. So processing time, let's talk processing time for the Chi Bleach and Shine. Up to 55 minutes. As long as it is moist, it will continue to lift. And I was even telling you guys, if for some reason, like if you're a slower painter, or if, one side is processing and it's already done and you still have a whole other side to do, you could go in with your Chi Bond and Seal, which I'll show you in just a second again. And yeah, you can spray that on the hair, take off some of the lightener, and it'll continue to lift, but less aggressively. When it comes to processing, you can use our Chi Bleach and Shine under heat. We recommend super low heat. Me personally, just as an artist, I prefer no heat. I think that there's really no situation that you have to use it, obviously, unless you're just like in a crunch for time. But for the most part, if you just let it process naturally, you're going to get beautiful results, and then you don't have to worry about how that heat is going to affect the end result of the hair. Any other questions? What do you guys think about this Chi Vibes iron? Like, look at those waves.
They love it.
Oh, yes, I love it too. Okay. So same thing. I'm making sure, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm laying it up against her head where the tool is flat. So right here, the tool is flat. And that way you don't get like a weird little crink. And then I just hold the end like this. And then whenever I go in, so you see where that one is, I make sure that I match that up kind of like with this side of the iron. So that I'm getting a really good press. And I'm kind of keeping that flow as we go down. The first time that I used it, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but not much at all, honestly. So the first time that I used it, I just had to really make sure that I wasn't like over pressing in the same area. But just overall, it's very simple to get a hang of once you kind of learn the tool. So you can find all of this, our Chi Bleach and Shine, the Chi Bond and Seal, which I personally love. It's like liquid gold to me, at Cosmoprof, your local Cosmoprof, as well as rchi.com. And same thing with this Chi Vibes iron. Honestly, this would be perfect gift also for the person that you love. And I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to set these waves. Hold that for me. And it is part of our Chi Vibes line. I love having this in my salon because the color is so cute. And if you guys are tuning in and you know me personally, you've probably already seen this on my social medias because I love it. Okay, so same thing. So we're working at the top of the head now. So I like to take the iron because you see how it's kind of like concave, and I like to keep it flat and then press. So I always like to keep this side of the iron kind of like parallel with the head. So that way you don't get any weird bends in weird areas, because I've actually done that. So you're welcome. I've made the mistake, so I can tell you how not to do it. Yep, couple seconds pressed and then release and then press again. So you see I'm kind of going in on the back end of that previous wave. So love it, love it. Going down again. And honestly, you could probably do her whole head super fast. Okay. Do we have any questions?
Someone asked, what else is in the Chi Vibes line?
Great question. So let me see if I can give them to you off the top of my head. We have our Chi Vibes Iron. We have our Chi Fake It Till You Make It, which is our dry shampoo. We have our Chi Vibes. What's that one over there? It's a dual action or
Better
dual.
Together.
Yeah, Better Together, which is our dual action hairspray and dual controller. I'm going to show you that in just a second. And our heat protectant. Okay, hold on. Hold this. Let me get you our Better Together. Okay. Where are we at on time, guys?
Yep, about 19 minutes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So look at this innovation right here. So Better Together, because it's a dual mist hairspray with a like fluctuating thing that you can have a great hold or a good hold. Depends on what you want. Obviously, this is vegan, paraben-free, gluten-free. So very conscious of all things and made in the USA. Look at me knowing all the stuff. So we're going to gently mist it just like this. Just like that. Look at that texture also. Turn that way for me. This way. See that beautiful honey color? Oh, so stunning. So good. Yeah. And what you notice, because this is actually the finished side, so this is going to mimic this. If you get right in here, Satara, and show them, there's no harsh lines. They're kind of seamless, goes all the way up. And that is just from doing those diagonal forward. And even if you come back over here, you can show them. You can already see that lifting process happening. And these depths right here are really going to maintain that darkness in those areas so that we have, oh, look, we have all of them. Let me see. This is my favorite. Oh my gosh. Wake and Fake, the dry shampoo, so freaking good. One of my favorite things about this, and if you're a blonde girl, you will love this one. It kind of gives you a little bit of a cool tone finish for me. Anyways, I've noticed that. I think it's the powder in there that does it, but I love it. And this is our know-it-all. Oh, I shook it. I love to shake it because it reminds me of like a lava lamp. But I was going to shake it for you guys. But watch. So you shake it, and you see how it turns like purple, and you see all of those cool little reflex in there. So this has over 21 benefits. It's a multitasking hair protector. Yeah, a lot of really fantastic things. So it's going to protect the hair, all that good stuff. Let me set all this back down so you can keep on waving. Turn this way just a little bit for me. Yep. Just like that. And then whenever we get done with this, we're going to make sure that we take her to the back and rinse her. So let's talk about what happens at the bowl, because you guys won't see that. As a matter of fact, I might do a little bit on my story so that you can see. But once we get her back to the bowl, remember I told you this is the Balayage Power Hour. Elevate your paint strategy, because these are actionable things that you guys can do behind your chair right now. And obviously make money, but it kind of really cuts the time in half. That was my thought process behind this type of painting technique. And the way that we do it, one of my favorite things is there's no color melt. So it really takes an entire step out, where with some of the things that we're creating in the salon today, it's like you have to go in and lighten, and that takes a long time, and then you have to go in and do a root smudge or a color melt, and that takes 25 minutes, and then go in and tone. It's just like a lot, right? Or for me, I started to feel like, dang, everything I do is a 4, 5, 6 hour process now. This isn't. Because of how you're painting those diagonal backs, you're really kind of minimizing that warmth right there in that transition or blend. So whenever we get her back to the bowl in a little bit, rinse it all out, all we're going to have to do is formulate one toner. The toner is going to go on, and it's going to sit for the full 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And I really want to encourage you guys, when we're talking about toners, especially like our Chi Shine Shades or our Chi Ionic Cream Color, in the same way how if you were to have a guest that comes in and they want a root touch-up, you're not going to stop midway through the process, rub the color off her root and be like, oh, she looks good, right? You're going to let it formulate the full time. I want you guys to think about toners in the same way. I want you to trust the process and know that if the demi formula Processing time is 25 minutes. Let it sit the full 25 minutes. If you're formulating for permanent color, let it sit the full 55 minutes. Because sometimes we're removing that toner a little bit prematurely. And so what that does is you're shortening the actual length of the longevity of the color, of the toner, or gloss, or whatever terminology you use. And I always try to encourage my stylists to understand that 90% of what's going to go wrong with your client's hair is not going to go wrong behind your chair. It's going to go wrong once your client gets home, washes her hair a few times, and her toner fades and things like that. So make sure you're allowing that toner the processing time that it needs, and then always recommending really good products and take-home stuff that's also going to maintain the integrity of that hair. So that would include color-safe shampoo, our heat protectant such as our Know-It-All, our Chi Vibes line, and really great tools and things like that that are going to keep their color intact. So,
You have another question.
yes.
It's, Michelle asked, how do you keep the bleach from drying out without foils?
Okay, yeah. So the consistency of our Chi Bleach and Shine is really good for that. It kind of like hardens on the outside, but if I were to like roll it in my fingers, you would notice that the interior of the lightener is still pretty moist. You could always, obviously go in and resaturate if you're noticing just a lot of drying out and things like that. But for her, we processed her for like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, because we got her to the color that we needed. And so in that time for me in this situation, it was fine. But you obviously could go reapply. You could incubate it like in cellophane if you wanted to, just for added coverage, or you could mist it with our Chi Bond and Seal to kind of like activate that as well.
You have another question. So Heather asked, can you show us the difference between the crimp and the loose beachy waves with the waver?
Reread the question.
Can you show us the difference between the crimp and a loose beachy wave?
Okay, so you wouldn't get a loose beachy wave with this tool. This is going to give you waves, but not like those loose beachy waves. I personally do those waves with either a wand or a flat iron, and I kind of flatten the ends. Now, this can be, how could I explain it? This could be relaxed a little bit, but I'm going to tell you the trick to relaxing this in a beautiful way. Because everybody's first kind of instinct with any type of curls or wand curls and things like that is to rake your fingers through them. With the Chi Vibes, that's not what necessarily I personally would recommend unless you're going for a really high textured look. I always recommend to heavily saturate the hair with our Chi BioSilk, and then kind of like work the product through and really, really, really give it the love of that oil to get beautiful, like super relaxed waves. That's about as relaxed as you're going to get though with this particular iron. Now, if you're wanting something that would give you beautiful, true beach waves, I would probably recommend our Chi Lava 2.0. And if I had one, I would show you, but hit me up on like Instagram and my DMs or something, and I can kind of show you a tutorial for that. Okay. So we're still going in with our Chi Vibes. If you're just joining us, hello, welcome to Balayage Power Hour, where we were talking all things how to elevate your paint strategy. We did this amazing application on this side, which was a super quick technique. We went in and did a couple diagonal back subsections, went in and freehand painted with our Chi Bleach and Shine aloe and hemp lightning system. It is a system because it comes with this as well as our Chi Bond and Seal spray. This is something that's amazing, obviously, for prep, for during, so prep to equalize porosity, for during to slow down the lifting process or to resaturate, and for after to again infuse the hair with all of those beautiful bonding properties. You can actually see the bonding kind of chemical, whatever that is. What is that? What is that called? What is this called? Molecules. The bond molecules right there on the bottle for you. And it's a hair treatment. So the after would be the hair treatment. So we sprayed her hair with it, went in and freehand painted. She's been processing for about 30 minutes now. And as soon as this live is complete, we're going to take her back to the bowl, rinse her, And then tone. So I want to talk to you guys about toners really quickly. This is her formula because we wanted to create a beautiful honey. I love to teach how to tone. I always tell everyone you have to have the same mentality whenever you're toning lighter shades if you were to be tinting back. So you still need a really well-rounded balance of your primaries. So turn this way for me. Whenever we were creating, she was like, I want to stay something kind of similar to my natural, but I definitely want change. But something that was beautiful and complemented her skin tone. So she has beautiful golden kind of olivey tones. So we chose a honey. And whenever I was thinking, I was like, okay, I want honey, but I want something with like some coolness to it. So I knew for sure I was going to do my chocolate mocha. I chose level 8. I added a little bit of our level 8 silver blonde in there just to kind of neutralize any residual warmth. And then my little secret is I added a couple drops of our deep plum dark violet, which is our 4V. This is our Chi Ionic Shine Shades liquid color. So what I love about the liquid color is because you can get so much difference. Sorry, I'm flipping my hair over here. You can get so much difference, I guess, like formulas from one little bottle. So from this one tube, you can create a permanent color, demi, semi. It could be a toner, treatment, all of those things. So I love it. I did formulate for her as a permanent color. Let it sit the full processing time and then rinsed. So we're going to do this as soon as we're off camera. To this side, we'll get you some after pictures. But yeah, she's looking beautiful already. Again, for this type of situation, we didn't need her to be a level 10. I wanted her to be to a really nice 8-9, and then we're going to tone back from there and really just embrace the warmth, right? Are you guys tired of super ashy colors, or is that just me, right? Okay, so also, sorry, I'm grabbing stuff from over here. This is our Chi Ionic Shine Shades color. So, I mean, not Shine Shades, I'm sorry, cream color. So love this also. This also has aloe in it and ceramic and silk and all of the good things. But another very real life situation is if she were to come back into the salon and want, say, a root touch up, or if this was a color refresher. You may have clients who are coming in with a little bit of hairs of wisdom, you know, little gray coverage that you needed to address. So for that, I always like to opt for a cream color at the root whenever I'm doing balayage. It gives me a little bit more of a texture at the root and not as much slippage. I love Shine Shades because of the slippability and it's really able to get in there. But if you're balayaging, this is another pro tip, and you're going to use a root color for whatever reason, my recommendation is always to opt for cream. So cream Ionic permanent color is always my go-to. So that was just another, you know, pro tip that I wanted to share with you guys because I really want to cover all of the real world scenarios that you may encounter when you're doing a balayage in your salon. So cream color for the root to work with your cheap bleach and shine is always my go-to. Do you have any other questions?
No, not yet.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Perfect. Oh, we're in no rush. We can stay all day. So let's recap really quickly just to give you guys who are just joining us a idea. Oh, look, I left this piece over here. What did I do with the iron is over here? Okay, so we painted on this side with our Chi Bleach and Shine. We are letting her lift to a level 9. And then are going to go in and tone her to this beautiful honey color. And on this side, we were debuting our Chi Vibes hot iron. It is so stunning. I love the color. Hold that for me really quickly. Thank you, thank you. Guys, make sure that you're following us on all of our social media platforms so that you know of all of the releases of our tools, any of the sales. Make sure that you're following Cosmoprof, so that you are alerted whenever all of these deals come out. I can just kind of guess, like I'm so looking forward to Mother's Day. So much fun stuff coming up. The world is opening up, guys. You are really our inspiration for even coming and doing these kind of things. This is my personal give back. I'm not even sure if I introduced myself because I was so excited to do this. No, I'm just kidding. I did. My name is Amber Marie again. And yeah, I'm right here in Texas. So we're open back up to full capacity, obviously. And I have really been enjoying it. But when I tell you I cannot get everyone in enough time, you know, because it's just like the world's opening up. Everybody wants to feel beautiful and fresh. And that was the inspiration behind this technique. To have something that you guys wouldn't have to spend, you know, 5 and 6 hours doing behind the chair, with products that support that mission. So whenever you are using a lightener that gives you up to 9 levels of lift, but also has the benefits of protecting the hair, and the scalp and everything in between, and is environmentally friendly, I'm like, yep, this is the way to go. This is the way to go. Start caring about everything and getting our clients in and getting back to the money, really. Okay, and this is our Chi Vibes. Still going through. Look at those waves. Turn this over me. Perfect. So beautiful. And then we'll finish this up off camera. Oh, and here's another tip for whenever you're using the Chi Vibes. Once everything's done and you have like this area down here that doesn't have really any like purpose and meaning, I like to kind of grab it all together and start where I can kind of see a visible leave off. So that way you have some kind of unifiedness to the bottom. And oh, do not forget these little baby hairs. Always make sure that you get those too. So I'm gonna take that one and then take this one like this. Just like that. And then I'm going to still do a little mini crimp for this bottom. Perfect. This is going to be fantastic for summer, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for summer. It's like 2020 didn't even happen. Okay. Okay, hold that for me. So, remember I was telling you guys about BioSilk. How you want to put the BioSilk in. Let me take this off. This is how you know we're sealed for your protection. And ours. I'm going to just set that right there. So, BioSilk. I'm going to put a generous amount in my hands. I'm going to set that on YouTube. Rub together. And I like to start from the bottom and kind of work it through. Always put a lot of silk on this so that you don't get those frizzies, you know? Look at that. Oh, so stunning. And I tell people don't worry if it looks a little bit wet in the beginning, unless you want the wet look. Your hair will fully absorb it. Look at that. Girl, look at this texture. Oh my gosh, you're stunning. We changed her whole look. This is also, oh my gosh, pause. I'm gonna need you all to clap and heart emojis in the comments because she was a virgin. I know you're shocked. I know you're shocked. This was her first time ever having color, guys. That is also why we chose something that was very, you know, kind of subtle, kind of, you know, not too far off the beaten path. Introduced her to the world of lightness, but not in a crazy way. And still just like embrace the color that she had. So this is the honey. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I forgot to share that with you guys. When she came in, they were like, she was like, yeah, I have never had my hair colored before. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. So that was really fun. We're going to make sure we get a beautiful after picture of this. Let me see. Look at me. I haven't even seen you, girl. Look, turn towards me. Oh, yes. Yes, girl. Okay, let me wipe that off. Perfect. All right. So, that was our Chi Vibes. That's how you style it out. We're going to get her again back to the shampoo bowl here in a second. Do we have any other questions?
No, that's it.
Really? All right. So, thank you all so much for sticking with us for our Balayage Power Hour, where we talked all things how to elevate your paint strategy utilizing our Chi Bleach and Shine lightning system. Thank you so much, Cosmoprof, for having us and opening your platform. My name is Amber Marie, and you guys will see this after picture soon. Go follow us on all of our social medias, and we'll see you next time.